And I'm sharing with you today some of the exciting products that we have in teenage pregnancy prevention. Our Nasco Ready or Not tots have been improved, and we want to make sure you understand the different versions that we have. Whether you're using an abstinence-only policy at your school or educating teens about safe sex, these hands-on tools will bring a lot of life to your entire program. You can use it in many different places in your curriculum. In being a parent and having a baby is not a negative thing. We don't want to bring that point across. What we want to help teens understand is that at what point in your life are you ready to make this decision? How will having a baby now affect your short-term goals, your long-term goals? How will it affect your education choices, your career choices, your friendships, and your finances? So many different things for them to consider. And we think that working with these manipulatives will help bring some of these things to life. The Ready or Not tots come in 4 different versions. The entry level is the basic, and we're really excited to let you know that the basic version has been improved. We now are using the same body type for all 4 versions of the Ready or Not tot. The arms and legs move so that you can position the baby to sit up. It can be in a car seat, it can be in a baby carrier, in many different places. But we've lowered the price on the basic version, made it better and lowered the price. You can't beat it. This comes in white and black, and it has an electronic voice box in the back. This particular box takes 3 AA batteries, and the teacher needs to turn the box on by pushing the button that's underneath the word Nasco. So you hold that until the light flashes, the power supply, and the baby cries. So you know that it's on. You quiet the baby by pushing the quiet button. In this instance, that's all the student needs to do. They just quiet the baby by pushing the quiet button. Each tending time lasts 10 minutes, and it repeats. There are 4 different care sequences, and they just keep repeating. You can assign this for 24 to 48 hours. It'll be 10 minutes in between each care. No keys required for that. Comes in black and white. The standard version is the next one. The standard version requires a student keys, the white key, and yellow keys are the teacher keys. This particular mannequin has 3 different programs, so that if 3 of us have the mannequin and it cries at 2 in the morning, I can't call my friends and say, what kind of care did you provide? Because the teacher can program 3 different ways. And the student uses the white keys. They need to determine, does this baby need to be fed, burped, needs attention, a diaper change, or if the baby's crying and I'm not patient enough to figure out what's wrong, I've used the panic key. It just is a way to quiet the baby from crying, and it really is a way that the teacher can then use that teachable moment to talk about child abuse. And that if you are just so frustrated with the baby that you set it in a safe place and leave the room for a minute, just like the panic key. 3 programs. These 3 different Ready or Not tots come in black, white, Asian, and brown. And they're male or female anatomically correct. They weigh about 5.5 pounds, and they're 21 inches long. The intermediate version is a step up, and the one that I really think carries the most value for what you're paying. It has a 4th program that is a drug-affected enhanced program that simulates a baby from a drug or alcohol-affected mother, where it would cry longer, a little bit more irritating cry, and take longer to quiet the baby. This particular program cries about 26 times in a 48-hour program, while the others only cry about 24 times. The other feature that the intermediate mannequin has is the daycare key. The teacher keys have the A, B, C, D programs, and it has a daycare program in both the intermediate and the enhanced model, so that if the chemistry teacher is having an exam and they don't want the Ready or Not tots in the classroom, they don't want to hear that baby crying, it might be distracting, you can provide daycare by using the interruption key, the daycare key, so that the program just is interrupted. You don't need to start from the beginning again. And another opportunity to talk to students about the finances involved in caring for a baby. If you want to go to the basketball game or have an exam or you need to go to work, you need to find responsible care for the Ready or Not tot. Someone that will record the kind of care that they've given correctly, provide good care for a baby, or bring it to the teacher and have them use the daycare pause. The enhanced or drug-affected version is the fourth, and that has the same 4 programs as the intermediate, plus it has a neck that needs additional support. It simulates poor muscle development, which a baby from a drug or alcohol-affected mother would have. The poor muscle development requires that you hold this mannequin a little bit more differently and give it more support on the neck. Now I'm going to use the enhanced version here. In addition to the 4 programs that the teacher can use, there's a demo key, so that when you go to hand this out to your students, you can do a demo. You just push the key in, make good contact, and pull it back out. So the demo key will go through the whole program very quickly. Normally, there are different times in the tending time. I told you the basic has 10 minutes to simulate a tending time. Well, most of you know that you can't really, it takes more than 10 minutes to feed a baby. It might take 15 or 20. So the tending times with these 3 versions are all a little bit longer. They're all a little bit different. It will cry once at the beginning of the tending time and then a second time to indicate that that tending time is passed. The student uses the white keys, and they need to try by trial and error to figure out what that baby needs, if it needs to be fed or diapered. And shortly in this demo, this baby will cry, and you can show them how to put that key in. As I mentioned, they come in 4 ethnicities, and male or female. So I'm going to try the feed key, and I'm just going to make contact. The nice thing about these Ready or Not tots, the top 3, it does have some positive reinforcement. Everything about being a parent isn't negative. There is some positive reinforcement. So that was the beginning of that feeding time. The demo runs quite quick. When you use this over 24 hours, or over 48 hours, these babies will cry about 24 different times, need care 24 different times. The 4th version, the enhanced drug-affected version, is about 26 times. I also neglected to mention that on this box, for the standard, the intermediate, and enhanced, these take 9-volt batteries. I'm going to set this baby down for a minute. It will need care again in a second. And that baby's going to rest. So the 9-volt battery goes in the back. You do need to use some care. We've enhanced the attachments here, but you want to be careful, and we want to discourage students from opening these boxes up. Put the 9-volt battery right in there. It has a nice ribbon so that you can pull it out, and put the cover right on there. Yeah, the diaper change isn't right. Baby needs to be burped after you feed it. The burp key does always follow the feed key, and the baby does have a very nice burp that is always interests the students. So the student is caring for the baby, and again, you can use this timeline where the student records the type of care. With these more advanced versions, they do need to indicate an F for feed, a D for diaper, A for attention, whatever system you want them to use. But generally, we would want to have them identify the kind of care that they provided. And these keys can all be photocopied and handed out to the students. Then we also have another version, depending on how you want them to record things. This one is offers the start time, the end time of each care, so you know how long that tending time was. And then it has a place where they indicate the type of care that they provided, what they were doing at that time, and how it made them feel. Oftentimes, when they first start to care for, yeah, did you hear the burp? It always tickles people when they hear the burp. You have a regular daycare. It's interesting to me when the students indicate how they feel on the care guide. In the beginning, it's a great fun. They are excited that the baby cries, that the baby burps, that they're able to care for it. But at 2 or 3 in the morning when the baby is crying and they want to sleep, they're very frustrated. It really brings to life some of the patience required, the time required, and the responsibility of caring for a baby. And it will work, like I said before, in any curriculum that you want to use, whether you use abstinence only or whether you're teaching about safe sex. The whole idea is to help them understand the responsibility in being a parent, and if this is the time in their life when they want to make that commitment.